Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. G, and I'm an internal medicine physician, a lifestyle modification coach, and a patient educator here in Hollywood, Florida. If you've been to the channel before, seen my videos, you're probably wondering what's on my desk. What's in the box? What's in the box? Like they said in 7. But anyway, we'll get to that. But first, let's talk about 10 essential things people like you should know before you're starting your lifestyle modification journey with respect with nutrition. This is with or without GLP-1 agonists. Number 1, understanding portion control. It's absolutely necessary for you to understand what is a small portion of food versus a medium to large size portion of food. Recognizing appropriate portion sizes is essential to avoiding overeating and maintaining a calorie deficit. It's crucial for sustaining weight loss in the long term. If you don't have your portions in the right proportions, you'll tend to overeat a lot more. So it's absolutely necessary for you to understand what is 3 ounces to 6 ounces, 5 ounces, 8 ounces of chicken or meat or fish or rice or veggies, all of these different macronutrients and micronutrients and all these nutrients that you're going to put in your body. And you got to know how much you're putting in, right? And so that way you can count it over time. Are you born knowing this stuff? Absolutely not. You got to, it's trial and error. You know, you got to, at first, you've got to measure it out and go through the tedious, arduous process of the lifestyle modification journey and understand what these meal portions are. So that way, after a while, becomes old hat. So understanding portion sizes is necessary to start your lifestyle modification journey. Skill number 2, learn how to read food labels. Reading food labels is not something that is inherent for every single person out here. It's not something that we just do. Think about it. When's the last time you picked off something off of the aisle at the grocery store, off of the shelf, and you sat there before you made the decision on which one, because there's always multiple choices, which one of the 5 or 6 different brands are you going to choose? And you sit there and look at the labels and decide, oh, well, this one has fructose syrup, or this one has corn syrup, or this one has XYZ ingredient in there. I'm not going to make that decision. This is something that we just don't do. And maybe it's because of bad habits or not forming the habit when we were younger and coming up and making our own decisions with food buying and selecting foods. But it is a great habit to learn. So I'm getting familiar with reading nutrition labels to make an informed decision and choices about how much calories and sugar and sodium and fat content in each of your packaged foods is an absolutely great skill to perfect while on your lifestyle modification journey. Again, just like fixing out your portions or understanding what your portions are or what good portions are, this is something that after a while, you don't have to do. You don't have to read the label every single time. You'll find your favorite labels and your favorite brands, and you'll pick those automatically. Tip number 3 for getting more out of your nutrition and, honing your nutrition while on your lifestyle modification journey or with or without GLP-1 agonists is learning to eat more fiber. It's not something that we do specifically. It's not unless you really like fiber-rich foods, incorporating fiber-rich foods like whole grains and legumes and vegetables into your diet will promote more fullness. You'll be what's called satiety, more full for longer, and it'll improve your digestion and also regulate your blood sugar. It's something that will aid, especially if you're on a GLP-1 agonist already. The GLP-1 agonists help you to stay fuller longer, and this will help the digestive process. Also, fiber will help those of us who have issues with digestive issues, or bowel issues, or moving your bowels, or having constipation. It helps with glucose control as well, because you take time to break down these products when they're in your body. So incorporating more fiber into your diet is always a good idea when you're starting out or even continuing your lifestyle modification journey from a nutrition standpoint. Tip number 4, and I talk about this a lot, it's part of the behavioral aspect of lifestyle modification, and that's being sure to identify emotional eating triggers, recognizing emotional or stress-related eating habits, and developing coping strategies, making sure that you have a strategy for when you get confronted by a barrier, such as one of your biggest triggers. Even if that's the golden arches, every time you see the M, you've got to jump in and get some French fries. But making sure that your responses to your triggers don't involve food, because the reason that you wanted to go get that, whatever it is, food, or it could be a piece of cheesecake, could be some chips or whatever, is not really because you're hungry, it's because you were triggered by something else. It could be something emotional, it could be, situational, it could be someone who's around you, it could be even, on the weekends, the ball game. You got to go to the ball game, and I got to get the hot dog and the fries. Those are things that, you can absolutely control, and making sure that your strategies to respond to the triggers are not just automatically going to food. You could go to exercise or journaling or having a long walk or a talk with a friend, something else that doesn't involve food. And that's a behavioral aspect thing. That's something that's, you're gonna have to change your behavior, and that's pretty hard. Number 5, prioritizing whole foods. It goes in line with the fiber selection and reading the labels, focusing on consuming whole, unprocessed foods like fruits and vegetables and legumes and lean proteins and whole grains, which are more nutrient dense and satisfying. I have this conversation a lot in the office. What is nutrient dense food? People come in here and say, hey doc, I don't understand why I'm gaining so much weight. I don't eat that much. I say, oh yeah, well, what do you eat? Well, I have some, I have a little bit of salad on, for breakfast, and then I'll have a smoothie, and then I'll have my dinner, I have some of my rice, and I have my chicken, and I have this and that, and then I'll have 2 slices of cheesecake. But wait a minute, I didn't eat much, I just had the salad and the meal and a little bit of dessert. Okay, well, how many calories are in a pound of salad versus how many calories are in a pound of cheesecake? That cheesecake is calorie dense. You're talking about almost, thousands of calories in a couple slices of cheesecake versus, a couple hundred calories in a pound of salad. Making sure you're selecting foods that are nutrient balanced. Absolutely important. Speaking of nutrient balance, balanced macronutrients themselves is a skill that you have to learn on your lifestyle modification journey with or without your GLP-1 agonists. So learning to balance meals with the right mix, good mix of the 3 macronutrients. You've got your lean meats, your proteins, then you have your fats, and we have our carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, healthy fats, help to keep our energy levels stable and support good metabolism if you incorporate them in your nutrition in a balanced manner. And that's absolutely important. And it's a skill that you have to learn from the very beginning. Well, somewhere towards the beginning, or else you're not going to see the types of improvements in your metabolism, in your weight, in your journey from the beginning, and likely end up quitting. So it's a skill. You got to learn it. Go ahead and jump right in. Here's one that I personally, and many people, many of my patients, many of our clients that come into the office, they come for lifestyle modification coaching, we all struggle with this. Practicing mindful eating, slowing down and being conscious of your eating habits, paying attention to hunger and fullness and cues to prevent overeating and enjoying food more intentionally is a skill that you have to get better at. Taking time to savor every bite, understand why you're having the meal you're having, who you're with, the sensations of the food, all of that will help you feel fuller quicker when you're on the food, when you're eating the food. So it's something that you should absolutely incorporate, take in the whole experience of the food. Don't just scarf it down, because next thing you know, man, where did that food go? Geez, I just ate a whole plate of food, and I barely remember what it tastes like. Take your time, savor the food, and practice mindful eating. Number 8, I say it a lot, especially now, especially if you're on the GLP-1s, but even when you're not, staying hydrated is a good idea. GLP-1 agonists tend to dry you out a little bit, and renal failure, acute kidney injury and renal failure is a risk of the medications, especially when you're on it and you're not drinking enough and you're already, you're not eating, you're not very hungry. And hunger on the other side can be mistaken, can be confused when you're thirsty. You're thirsty, and next thing you know, well, I'm hungry then. I'll just eat something to fill my belly up. You're actually thirsty. So hydration is something that you should continue to incorporate throughout your day, and making sure to understand that if you are feeling hunger, check the gauge and see if you're actually kind of thirsty. Number 9 goes without saying, limit your added sugars. Become aware of hidden sugars in processed foods, especially in processed foods. That's where they are, man. They're all in those cakes and those cookies. They're not there. You don't see them. You don't necessarily taste them every single time. Sometimes it's a nice little pastry and there's sugars, and sometimes they're in your drinks. I had a patient the other day come in. She had a pretty bad Pepsi addiction. These are empty calories. These are sugars that are wrecking your weight loss journey. So something that you should be mindful of is removing these types of sugary drinks and sugary foods out of your diet, and aiming to reduce your intake to improve overall health and weight loss in the long term. I saved the best for last, and probably the one I am the worst at, and that is meal planning and prepping. I hate meal planning and prepping. I teach it to those who like to cook. But for those who don't like to cook, what I like to do is find out what your schedule is, where you're gonna be, where you need to be ahead of time. And this helps you to choose foods that are around that area or that place in your schedule, or wherever you are gonna be, and choose ahead of time where you're gonna eat from, right? It helps you to avoid impulsive and unhealthy food choices, and ensures that you stick to a balanced and nutritious eating plan. Like for instance, you'd say, well, I'm gonna be on this side of town on Tuesday, I'm gonna have lunch here. I know where they have good food at, and they have good, these are the macros I'm gonna get from there. This is exactly what I'm gonna get off the menu. I'm not gonna choose anything else. That's a meal plan. You stick to it, you avoid making a bad decision, and there you go. My problem is I'm pretty much stuck here in the confines of the office, seeing patients usually from Monday to Friday. So I end up either eating a little bit later than I would like, or making impulsive choices, or maybe eating a small snack or something that doesn't fulfill my caloric needs for the day, doesn't help me fill up the buckets of protein, healthy fats, and carbohydrates. So we tried, the wife tried scheduling out my meals and meal prepping for me, and we were having the meals delivered, and it worked. It worked great. I dropped weight. I felt a lot better, a lot more energy throughout the day. And I've always been looking for a variety, right? I like variety. I'm the type of person that gets kind of stuck. I'm not going to eat that anymore. I'm just going to have a smoothie or something like that, because I'm just tired of eating the same thing over and over. And that's why we have this box. Trifecta. Trifecta is a company that has a pretty cool motto and a mantra that's kind of like what we do here. We practice a mantra of mind, body, and soul with all our patients. That's with our internal medicine patients, that's with our weight loss patients, that's with our lifestyle modification coaching patients. Mind, body, and soul. They say mind, body, and social. Pretty cool, pretty close. So anyway, what they do is they have these meal plans, and they have actually a GLP-1 meal plan. How convenient is that? High protein, high lean meats, good veggies and legumes, healthy fats are incorporated in every single meal. So I've been eating them for a while, and this is the latest box that was delivered over the weekend, and here we are. So I wanted to show you, and probably, prep and probably eat one of these things, and get you on, we've got all types of stuff here. We've got, hold on, this is peri-peri turkey with pasta and broccoli. Okay, we got that one. What else we got? We've got Tex-Mex chicken. Okay, pop these in the microwave, and it's ready to go. It's pretty good, actually. So what else we got in here? Got a couple other ones in here. We've got the red enchilada chicken tamales. Okay. We've got, for this week, we've got chicken mac and cheese. So these are all my lunches. These are ready to go. You're talking about the chicken mac and cheese. Basically, it's got 480 calories, 43 grams of protein, 40 grams of carbs, and 14 grams of fat. And it's got, it's pretty much, it's so convenient, right? So I basically take in about 2,200 calories a day I try to stay around there. And so this fulfills about 500 calories, a quarter of the calories, a little bit less than a quarter of the calories that I need for lunch. These are the lunches for the week. And Cajun-inspired salmon, rice, and green beans. Cool. And we've got, what else? Teriyaki chicken. It's always a favorite. I like this one. Teriyaki chicken. This is all in their meal plan for the GLP-1. So you go to the website, you choose the meal plan you want to do. If you want to do, this is brisket burrito with guacamole, 500 calories, 36 grams of protein, 23 grams of carbs, and 30 grams of fat. So yeah, so you go to their website, you select the one that you want as far as the meal plan style, and you can get all this stuff delivered straight to your door. Cool. Yeah, so the cool part is right now, I've decided, I reached out, I like this food, I like this so much that I decided, yeah, I want to get in and offer to you a 40% off if you use the code Dr. GLP1 at checkout using the link in the description below, and you go straight to their website, select the meal plan you want, use Dr. GLP1. Whether you use a GLP1, you get a GLP1 plan or not, doesn't really matter, because you'll get 40% off. You cannot use the 40% off if you want, that's fine, and pay them full price, but I really do suggest that you do. Anyway, I wanna thank you for staying along with me to see what was in the box. Trifecta has given us the opportunity, this box is in the way, has given us the opportunity to get you 40% off through my special code. Look at the link below, check it out. And that's about it for today. Stay healthy and stay with the journey. It's going to be worth it in the end. See you soon. Here we go with our teriyaki chicken. I kind of like this one. This is probably my favorite, one of my favorite ones for lunch. It's, it's not too bad, I guess, as far as the portions. The portion sizes are good, actually. It's not too bad as far as the flavor. You would think that, it's not. The only problem I have with it, I don't think it's spicy enough. I'm a spicy eater, so I like spicy foods. So, got my water here, and I like to kick it up a notch with a little bit of Scotch bonnet peppers. Yeah, actually, I gotta get something. This is super important. Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, actually, the Scotch bonnet is not gonna do it. I've got a jar. I like to eat, just like most folks. But I've learned portion control and getting down to eating what I should eat, the amounts and the proportions that I should be eating, and the portion sizes. But what I do like is, I'm Haitian American. I like Haitian cuisine, and this right here is pickled cabbage with carrots and some lima beans in there. But it's got something very special in there. It's got Scotch bonnet peppers, and it's vinegared. It's pickled. And we use it just about, I put this ish on everything, but it goes on all types of food. And what you do is you get some of this pickled, look at this stuff, this is good stuff. Oops. What you wanna do is just sprinkle that on top. And trust me, this is a little goes a long way. Super, super spicy. We're gonna put this back here and we're gonna have a lunch. So the convenience of Trifecta is that I know that it's good, clean food, right? Good, tasty food. The portions are really, it's portioned out exactly for the amount of calories that I need to be taking for my journey. So they're about between 480 to 530 calories per meal, somewhere in there. Good stuff. It's made lunch for me a lot simpler, a lot easier with variety, which is exactly what you need to do to keep you on your lifestyle modification journey so you don't get bored. Getting bored with your food will lead you to go back to things that you really, really, really liked before and fall into your cravings. So this keeps me excited about lunch, which is, it's kind of hard to get excited about lunch. And when you're as busy as I am, super busy and seeing patients, filming stuff, trying to film in between patients and after patients and meetings. And I'm just as busy as you are, and you're as busy as I am. So you are going to need to have some place where you know that you're gonna get a nutritious meal for sure. And there's no doubt about it, right? So Trifecta does that for me. If you'd like to get on the Trifecta train, I have a great opportunity for you. Use Dr. GLP1 on checkout by using the link below. Go to the link below, go ahead and get your meal plan. At the checkout, use Dr. GLP1 to get 40% off your very first meal, your very first order of meals, and that's pretty awesome considering a week of meals goes for about 110 bucks. So you're getting about more or less about 40 bucks off, a little bit more than $40 off. Just to try this out, you could try it out for a week for like, 60 something dollars. Hey, I mean, not much to lose there, especially if you're already on a GLP-1 journey. So good stuff. I like this. I think you'll like it too. See you soon.